So now we put on the halo, which is the last thing to get added. We'll use another piece of 4mm. We heat it up, heat the back of the head up. Actually, the head is still quite hot. We want to touch it. Okay. Join, make a seal, and now what I have to do is heat a length, probably around 2 inches or so, uniformly, which is easier said than done. Then when it's all glowing the same color, that tells me it's all about the same temperature. Okay, then I take it out and I pull it out very slowly, just until it's about hardened, and then right before it hardens, I curl it up and I bring it back to join it like that. And it cools rather fast. Now I go back in, notice I'm between the wings here, do a flame cut that off, take another graphite rod, which is a smaller one, and I'm going to just encourage that seal to form, push them together a little bit. Now we have a very droopy halo, but I heat it up again, and I put it in proper position, and that's a little bit high. You don't want to worry. Yeah. So let's adjust it. There, that's about the right height, I guess. And so essentially the angel is done, but we still have this handle. So we can't put hot heat immediately on the bottom or it'll all crack and then I'll be upset. And so we gotta start heating it up slowly. And then we add more oxygen. We're using oxygen and natural gas. And then I have special pliers. You can see I've got a little slot so I can grab them. And now I continue, not just heating it in one place, but heating it all the way around. And then we do another flame cut and remove the extra glass. Then we heat the heck out of it, and we don't want that little knob, which is what other glass blowers would call the pontil mark. So I'm going to take this and kind of shove it up in there, but now I'm going to heat the edge all around, and then I'm going to flatten it on this graphite plate. And when I flatten it, I don't just flatten it, I actually slide it, because then I can tell if it's flat or not. So essentially, I don't want to leave it here long, but that's our finished angel. But if I left him there, he'd still crack. So I cool it down, and believe it or not, to cool it down, you put it back in the flame. I'm just using cooler temperature. And I can tell it's cooling as soon as black soot deposits on the glass. That means the glass is way cooler, under 1,000 degrees. Then I've got these gloves, and what I do is I put them in between. These are special gloves, the type that firemen use, and in there it'll cool. It may take about half hour for it to cool. Then, let's see, I have another one that I made earlier. So this is a similar angel, a little bit smaller. That's a younger brother, I guess. So when it's done, then I put it into an annealing oven, and when I have the annealing oven full, I anneal it for, it takes about 8 hours. It takes it up to a temperature, the softening point of Pyrex, just right before it, which is 550 degrees Celsius. I should have calculated. That's 1,300 degrees Fahrenheit. And then the oven automatically turns off and it goes down to room temperature. So then I take it out, and in this particular angel, this first step was done. I did a repair on it, but the little box doesn't have a bottom, and so I put some glue just to form the bottom. To do that, I put a piece of tape on, a little glue gun stuff, and then after that's hardened, then I come over to this messy place that's full of gold, and I have experimented with about a dozen different adhesives, and I found one adhesive that's like an epoxy, but I can mix it up and make a paste, and then I literally, well, we can do that. Let's do that. We'll try to get some of this out. I see I forgot to close it last time, so okay, it's pretty viscous. Remember to close it. Maybe I better close it now. And then we take one of these. It's great to work with gold, isn't it? Okay, there's our paste, and let's start out with some fresh gold. These are gold flakes. It's real gold flakes, and I mix them up as if I were going to make a batter. I like to have as many gold flakes in it as possible, so I'll pick up some extras. Then I take the angel and I literally just shove it in. That's not a very scientific term, I guess. And then I use my fingers and I cram it in, but then so the top doesn't look too bad, too flattened, I take some other flakes and I press them into it, and now I have a heap of gold flakes. Now I'm not going to show the next step with this one because I just did it. But here are some that I did yesterday. And so what I do then is I take this and I get a big brush. I don't see my big brush, so I'll use a little brush, and now I purposely brush off all the extra stuff so that when it gets home and somebody opens up the package, it doesn't gold fall over the floor and they say, oh, I'm losing my gold. So it's loose, but on top it's kind of it doesn't look like it's packed down. And so that's the completed angel. An advantage or disadvantage of this is I get gold fingers. So just like the movie. So that's how we make the 2012 angel. Hope you enjoy it. Ta-da!